Hare Krishna. Today we are reading Canto 3, Chapter 1, entitled Questions by Vidura. We are reading the verse 32. I'll offer the prayers first. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Shushrushoshritanasya Vasudeva Katarchi Syan Mahatsevaya Vipra Punyatirtani Shevanad Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhrisatam Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavate uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki Tada rajas tamobhava kama lobhadayaschaye Chete teranavidam stitam sattve prasidate Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha Bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate Vidyate hridaya grante chidyante sarva samshaya Shiyante chasya karmani drishta evatmanishvare Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Okay, we are reading verse 32 from Canto 3 and Chapter 1. Kaschid Buddha Swasti Anami Vahaste Swapalka Putro Bhagavat Prapanna Ya Krishna Padankita Margapam Sushva Acheshtata Prema Vibhinna Dhairya. Word to word. Kachit, whether, Buddha, very learned, Swasti, well, Anamiva, faultless, Aste, does exist, Swapalka Putra, the son of Swapalka, Akrura, Bhagavat, regarding the personality of Godhead, Prapanna, surrendered, Ya, one who, Krishna, the Lord, Pada Ankita, marked with footprints, Marga, path, Pamsushva, in the dust, Acheshtata, rolled about, Prema Vibhinna, lost in transcendental love, Dhairya, mental equilibrium. Translation. Please tell me whether Akrura, the son of Swapalka, is doing well. He is a faultless soul, surrendered onto the personality of Godhead. He once lost his mental equilibrium due to his ecstasy of transcendental love and fell down on the dust of a road which was marked with the footprints of Lord Krishna. Purport. When Akrura came to Vrindavan in search of Krishna, he saw the footprints of the Lord on the dust of Nandagram and at once fell on them in ecstasy of transcendental love. This ecstasy is possible for a devotee who is fully absorbed in incessant thoughts of Krishna. Such a pure devotee of the Lord is naturally faultless because he is always associated with the supremely pure personality of Godhead. Constant thought of the Lord is the antiseptic method for keeping oneself free from the infectious contamination of the material qualities. The pure devotee of the Lord is always in company with the Lord by thinking of him. Yet, in the particular context of time and place, the transcendental emotions take a different turn, and this breaks the mental equilibrium of the devotee. Lord Chaitanya displayed a typical example of transcendental ecstasy as we can understand from the life of this incarnation of God. So in this verse, I would like to give a little summary on this. So Shukadev Goswami is talking to Maharaj Parikshit how Vidura is inquiring the transcendental knowledge, transcendence. He's inquiring the transcendental knowledge from Maitreya Muni. So how Vidura came out of the house, and actually he feel that opportunity. He feel that he's fortunate enough to come out of that Kaurava kingdom because of the Duryodhana's harsh words. So he came out so happily, and then he was traveling to many pilgrimage places, and at last when he reached the bank of Yamuna, where he happened to see Uddhava, a great devotee of the Lord. So when Vidura saw Uddhava, he was so happy, and then he was hugging him and he was asking about Krishna, how he is doing. And Vidura is glorifying Krishna and also his dynasty. He's asking about his son Samba, and in the last verse, he was asking about Yuyudhana. And now in verse 32, he's asking about Akrura, who is a pure devotee, who is a son of Swapalka. So in this verse 32, the characteristics of Akrura is mentioned, that how much he's a pure devotee. And Prabhupada says that he is a faultless soul surrendered onto the personality of Godhead. So when Kamsa sent Akrura to bring Krishna to Mathura, when he was going on a chariot, at once he came to the Vrindavan Nandagram. He saw the footprints of Krishna on the dust of Vrindavan, and suddenly he will lose his mental equilibrium, and with ecstasy he just fall down, and then he look at those footprints of Lord Krishna, which is marked on the dust of the road of Vrindavan. He was like completely in ecstasy. So I was just thinking, like it came to my, I was contemplating on this point, like how the mood of a pure devotee is. And Akrura, he was completely in a contaminated place with Kamsa always. But his only hope is that one day Krishna will come. So that's the reason he did not leave the place of Mathura. He was still with this contaminated person, Kamsa. And he was always in the thoughts of Krishna. He was like fully absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. And once he came to the Nandagram and to the Vrindavan, when he saw the footprints of the Lord on the dust of the road, he was praying, he was praying, and he offered prayers to Krishna. And he's in full ecstasy that he's looking at the footprints of Krishna. So this is Akrura is a good example for the 9 processes of devotional service: Vandanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam. So Vandanam, he's praying when he saw the footprints of Lord Krishna on the dust of the road of Vrindavan. So I really like that, the how he was in ecstasy, and only the pure devotees of the Lord, who is always in company with the Lord by thinking of him, can be possible to be in that ecstasy of transcendental love. I really like that point, and I was just contemplating on thinking the feelings of a pure devotee. And here Srila Prabhupada also takes an example of Lord Chaitanya, how he displayed the typical example of transcendental ecstasy. we knew that, like the couple of examples where he was dancing, crying right in front of Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra chariot during the Rath Yatra. Lord Chaitanya was crying so like he is in the mood of separation and he was crying. And then people can see, the Advaita Acharya Nityananda Prabhu can see the tears from his eyes. So and also another example is that he just one time, because he was not able to serve the transcendental form, qualities and pastimes of Sri Krishna, he thinks that his life is useless and he's living his life with shame. So he will at once he goes into the water. He don't want to stay in this life. So I was just thinking, um like how the pure devotees mental equilibrium is. Like they are completely in the transcendental love all the time, and then they feel that separation. So these 2 points really liked for me, and I just feel like even by just listening or reading about the pure devotees, itself is like a nerve-wracking for me. I mean, it's very beautiful. Here, Akrura is the best example of thinking of the Lord by his thoughts. He's not even in association with the Lord, but just by constant thinking of the Lord, he was able to be one of the pure devotees. And here Prabhupada says that constant thought of the Lord is the antiseptic method for keeping oneself free from the infectious contamination of the material qualities. And I see this. He was contaminated in the infectious place of Kamsa in Mathura, but still, with his constant thought of the Lord, made him to become a pure devotee of the Lord, and he became so dear to the Lord just by thinking of the Lord. So these 2 points, I really like these points, and I feel like so fortunate to read this verse. It's a very nice verse. I really like this verse. So with this, I will end the class. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Thank you. Hari Bol.